Good morning, students. In front of you is a picture I took of the inimitable Bruce Lee. This statue that commemorates him is in Chinatown. And I took this picture on Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, I should say, 3 years ago. As you can see, I went to the parade. I walked right past the statue and took a picture of it. Among the favorite units I have in our year of study in cinema is that of Asian martial arts, a genre that has been replicated a lot. Possibly the most significant figure in Asian martial arts cinema is Bruce Lee. Now, normally in class, I could show you clips from a documentary. Thankfully, that documentary is on YouTube. So, for the next 2 class meetings, so Thursday and next Monday, I'd like for you to watch this documentary. It's called Bruce Lee, A Warrior's Journey. And I really only want you to watch about the first hour. The last 40 minutes of the documentary is a recreation of the film Game of Death, which is what he was making when he died, ironically. I'd like for you to watch the documentary and answer these 5 questions. Bruce Lee was so far ahead of its time, it's unbelievable to consider. He was among the first to adopt the usage of vitamins and minerals as supplements. We take it for granted now. Everybody takes vitamins and minerals, but back in the 60s, he was one of the first to do so. He was one of the first to make protein shakes. He was one of the first to have a really hard focus on nutrition and training. He went to college and studied philosophy and wrote books on philosophy. There's so much that we do today in our daily lives in terms of how we perceive action in films that is derived from him. Video games that have fighting in them are derived from his films and his philosophy and whatnot. So I'm going to ask you to answer these 5 questions. The first one is, how did Bruce Lee feel about Chinese martial arts films that were being made at his time? He only starred in 4 films before dying during the making of Game of Death. Please name his 4 complete films and state what Lee's character does immediately after his famous fight with Chuck Norris in Way of the Dragon, which is in the documentary. Way of the Dragon is one of the 4 complete films. There's only 3 others, and it's amazing to think that he is so famous and revered. He died when he was 32 years old. He died exactly 4 months to the day from when I was born, and my birthday is 1 week exactly before his birthday. The third question is about his philosophical outlook on life. And the last 2 questions have quotes from him. The first one is, what does using no way as way and having no limitation as limitation mean? And the final question, my favorite, be water, my friend. What does that mean? I hope you enjoy this. I'm not going to go without first shouting out the 10 students who participated in this week's liking so far, I guess. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Gustavo. Thank you, Gerardo. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Rhiannon. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Alvaro. And thank you, Anthony. 10 out of 33 is only about a third. We could do better than that, I hope. And I have to tell you, this is worth your time. Take care of yourselves and be water, my friends.